Hi everyone, this is Matt from drawingtutorialsonline.com. I wanted to take a moment here on YouTube to share with you a really important yet simple figure drawing technique. I think this is going to help you tremendously. Let's get started. All right, let's get started here. So last week, Madison is a member of drawingtutorialsonline.com, and Madison submitted to the critique gallery the drawing to the right. The drawing to the left is an original Loomis drawing, and what Madison wanted to do was copy the Loomis drawing, but exaggerate the pose. Add more movement, add more of a tilt to the pose. And I admire that. It's good that you don't always want to copy somebody's artwork exactly. You kind of want to put your own spin on it. The problem arose with the tilt of the pose. It became too aggressive and there was no more balance to it. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I learned many, many years ago is that there should be 1 or 2 feet underneath the pit of the neck. Now, the pit of the neck is right, I'm on the left drawing now, the original Loomis, and I'm at the center of her neck. The pit of the neck is located right at the center of the 2 collarbones. So right in between your 2 collarbones, kind of where the sternum is. When we pull a plumb line down from that sternum, from the center of the collarbones, from the pit of the neck, there should be at least 1 or both feet bearing the weight of the pose. Now, I see a heel over here on the bottom, and then obviously we see her foot over here on the left side. I could honestly say that both feet are bearing the weight. However, most of the weight of this pose is on her, let's see, her right foot, okay? Because her left foot is kind of coming forward a bit. That's what you really need to think about when you choose to exaggerate the pose. Now, when we come over to Madison's drawing and we find the pit of the neck and we just, for argument's sake, draw a collarbone, this collarbone's tilted up aggressively, we try to get the sternum's right about there, and we pull the plumb line down. Try to freehand this and go parallel with the piece of paper. There's nothing underneath her neck, which means she's going to kind of tip over any moment now. There needs to be at least 1 foot or both feet somewhat balancing underneath her neck. Okay? Now, the other thing that is happening, and something that you could do, is sometimes when we do gesture drawing in my class, I tell my students to use an imaginary line to connect the feet. It's kind of like this gesture line, and it really, really works. And this pose, its natural pose, is that her right heel is going to be higher than her left toes. Okay. Now, when we look at Madison's drawing, and the drawing, the paper here, the edge of the paper, it's not tilted. It's straight up and down. How do I know that? Because the name here, Madison's name, is level. But when I do that line and I connect the feet, there's no way that her right foot is going to be behind or below her left foot. Do you guys see that? So the moral of the story here is that when you choose to exaggerate a pose, you have to be very, very conscious about which foot is bearing the weight. Now, let's say you're doing an action pose where somebody is going to be, let's say they're a sprinter, right? And they're going to start right out of the gate, and they're going to start really running. This knee is up and that foot is back, and their arm is powered forward and the other arm is powered back. And I go here to the pit of the neck, the center of the neck, and I come down. There's no feet underneath that pose. That is completely different. That is an aggressive action, the beginning of sprinting. When somebody's in an aggressive action, it's okay that a foot is not underneath the pit of the neck. Now, the other thing is what you always want to ask yourself, and this is kind of cool, is this dance movement the beginning of the dance movement, the middle of the dance movement, or the end of the dance movement? I kind of think it's the end of the dance movement. It's not the middle. Okay, so if it was the middle, it might be all right that she could be in an aggressive dance move and you're not going to have a foot underneath the center of the neck. So that's the short lesson that I wanted to share with you. Check out some of your figure drawings and see about which foot is bearing all of the weight. Are both of them equally sharing the weight, or is all of the weight of the upper body and the head on one foot? And most of the weight, I would say, in the Loomis drawing is on the right foot. And on this particular drawing, Madison's drawing, there's nothing underneath the head. There's nothing underneath the pit of the neck. It's the end of the pose, so that needs to be adjusted. And then when you add the weight of the hand all the way over to the right, that's going to make this woman tip over even more. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you this week. I hope that you got something from it. Be aware of the center line, be aware of the pit of the neck, and that will definitely help you. Thanks for watching. All right, thank you so much for watching that really short drawing tip. If you're interested in having your artwork critiqued, you can check out some of the links below. I offer private one-on-one coaching, and I also have the membership to drawingtutorialsonline.com where I critique member artwork every Monday. It's a lot of fun. I meet a lot of really interesting artists on the website. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.